I am so happy you are here with me. Happy hump day, right? It's Wednesday, so welcome to Artsy Rose. Definitely drop me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, what you have planned for your day, and maybe what you have planned for Valentine's Day. I'm interested in knowing. And big game day is this Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. So what are you guys going to be eating? Who are you cheering for? Drop me some comments down below and just let me know what's going on. So today, I actually just booked a private party that'll be in person, and we are going to be painting an Easter bunny. So I have to have a picture to be able to put on the website. And so this is a perfect opportunity to be able to paint with you guys and get a painting done so I can take a picture of it to put on the website for the private event. If you're interested in knowing more about private events, definitely drop me a comment. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So I have a blank canvas set up right here. I did go ahead and do a quick little sketch out, and I will show you that on here. It's super, super light with pencil, and I will go over that in just a moment, okay? But for now, let's make sure we have everything set up and ready, right? And then we'll get started on the actual fun. I'm trying to give some people a minute to get on here, get your paint supplies together. You need your water cup, you need your paintbrushes, you need your napkins for cleaning your paintbrushes. And I guess that is about everything, and something to paint on, whether it be paper or canvas or whatever. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to make sure and check my platforms. Looks like Facebook is on. Looks like Twitch is on, and YouTube. I'm still learning about oh, yep, I'm on there too. Heck yeah. That's exciting. So definitely drop me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm still kind of learning about Restream and how it streams on multiple platforms at one time. And my husband and I were just talking about how he's got all of this camera gear set up so that it streams on multiple platforms like that, like so easy, right? So I'm so glad his brain understands all of this and that he was able to teach me so that I could bring it to you. I'm also going to be recording this to be able to upload later onto YouTube. So if you miss any of it, you can definitely check it out next week over on YouTube. So let me hit record and then we'll get started. Hey there, welcome. I'm so excited to be painting this super fun Easter bunny with you. And go ahead and watch this short little clip and then join me back to get painting. Okay, so you have all of your paint supplies good and ready to go, and I have my canvas. So what you're going to want to do is on your canvas, you are going to want to, let me slide this down. Okay, you are going to want to go ahead and get a quick little sketch, a quick little circle sketch right here onto your canvas. A handy little trick is that you can use something round or even a little bit ovalish if you want to trace. This is bigger than my hand, so you're going to want to go a little bigger than your hand. Maybe you have a plate that could work or a bowl, okay? So we're going to trace around that so that we get a quick little sketch of a circle. Then for the ears, I did a curve into a flip out to the left, and then a very lazy backward C curve for the right side of the ear. Now, ears are not see-through, so I will erase part of that head, okay? I know this is super faint for you, but the reason being is my Easter bunny is going to be white today, and I know that if I were to do this with Sharpie, you guys would be able to see through that onto the canvas. So we are going to do the second ear. The second ear is going to be like a very, very, very lazy C. And then up here, I put a little flip and then a curve the opposite direction, okay? I'm going to go ahead and erase that part of the head right there that's showing through. And for the paws, those are easy, guys. Those are just going to be a frowny face curve or a half of a circle. Maybe you have a cup at home that would be just the perfect size for a paw. So you could most definitely trace, put that cup half on your canvas or paper and half off your canvas or paper, okay? So now we've got the little paws traced, we've got our bunny head traced, and we will from there just kind of free paint on the eyes and the nose and the mouth. If you feel better about it, you could most definitely go ahead and draw some eyes, a nose, and a mouth. I'm going to be doing oval eyes. I might do like a little heart nose. I think that would be super cute. And then, of course, it would be just two smiley face curves for the mouth, okay? And then we're going to be adding in a fun background. Now, remember, you are your own special artist, so how you choose to do your painting and your colors and all of that is totally up to you. There's no wrong answer, okay? On my paint plate, I have just some basic colors. I have red and yellow. Those are two primary colors, and blue. You can't go wrong with having red, yellow, and blue. And then I left a gap in between so that I could make an orange. I did go ahead and pop some teal on here because I'm going to be using that in my sky and I love it. And then I did leave a gap right here so I can make some green for our grass that our little bunny's going to be hiding in. And then I've got some purple because I want to be able to pop some purple in the sky. And purple is a little bit tricky to make. You use red and blue to make purple, but it's kind of tricky. So I went ahead and put purple on the plate. I do have some black and brown on here as well, just in case we need them. And a big old chunk of white right in the middle because I am going to have a white bunny, and we'll go from there. Now, I have lots of sizes of brushes. These sizes right here come in my painting art kit that you can most definitely purchase on our website, and I do have a link down below, but these I've been using for 1.5 years and they're amazing. Then I have two other brushes. These are made by Simply Simon, and they are just Simons, excuse me, plural. They're my favorite brushes. This is actually a brush for wash, like thin paint that goes over large surfaces, but I love it for acrylics. And then I love just this normal pointy one right here. It's a great one for just detail, but on a big canvas. Obviously, these are great for detail as well. Here, let me show you. But they're better for a smaller canvas or really tiny detail on a big canvas, okay? So, like I said, these sizes come in our painting art kits. I've been using mine for quite a while. These I bought separate. We use these at my studio, okay? And I have my napkins and I have my water cup. Now, quick little tidbit, do not put your water in your favorite cup. My daughter used to do that when she was little, and it is so hard to scrub acrylic paint off of any kind of cup. So I just use this plastic one, and I've been using it for like 1.5 years. Just reuse, 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 help the environment, right? Okay, so I'm going to start with my background first, and then I'll move on to the bunny. I'm going to do a daytime sky, but it's going to have an ombre effect. It's going to fade from light to medium to darker, and then I'm going to do grass down at the bottom. Okay, so we'll just double check this real quick and make sure we're still good to go. It looks like we are. All right. Thank you guys for being patient. Okay, I'm going to start with my biggest brush. And like I said, I love teal. I think it would be great for the background. And also, I have to show you guys something. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready for this. Okay, look at this cuteness. Do you see this? This is Biggie and Raina, and Raina's face is kind of hiding in the blanket there. But those are my two puggies, and Biggie is sleeping on Raina. This is what they do every time I'm filming. Oh, Raina's like, oh, Biggie, you're squishing me. He's like almost twice her weight. But they love each other so much. So I'll definitely have to peek in on them while we're painting. All right, so I want to try this screen. I'm not sure how well it's going to work with a horizontal painting, but we're going to try it. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. That's interesting. Okay, that is something I'm going to have to mess with. I'm not sure why that didn't work. Let's try this. Nope, still doesn't work. Okay, that's okay. I'm just forgetting something. I learned how to do this last week, and I'm just obviously forgetting something. Maybe it is over here. Let's see. There we go. Let's see now. Okay, so I guess I'm learning something. Over on my ATM software, you have to, it doesn't save it. Ugh, that's irritating. So I'm gonna have to reset that up for my next video. So that's interesting and a good thing to know. So my apologies, but we can still peek in on the puggies every now and then. No big deal, right? All right. Let's switch this screen back. Here we go. Okay, so I am going to start, and anytime you're making a lighter color, I put white right here, and then you move white to the color you want to lighten, white to the color you want to lighten, and then you're going to put just a little bit of that color in at a time. And since I'm trying to do an ombre effect, it's literally going to be just a little bit. We do not want a ton of paint on our brush, so I'm going to scrape some of that off, and then I'll come back and pick that off the plate in just a minute. Now, I do want my bunny, like I said, to kind of be in the grass, so I'm going to draw a horizon line on both sides of the bunny, okay? Next, I am going to start at the bunny. I'm going to kind of outline part of her face or his face. Oh my gosh, there's so many options for this, guys. You could totally put a little bow tie down there under the chin. You could put a bow on the head. How cute would that be? Or a little flower. OMG. I'm getting some ideas. Okay. There we go. So I am painting with my bristles vertical. So they're up and down, okay? And I'm starting at the bunny and I'm swiping left, and then from the left to the bunny, bunny to the left, left to the bunny, bunny to the left. By doing nice long brush strokes like this, that is going to help your background to look smooth. So that way we don't see where the brush strokes started and finished. Now this is really, really light, but that's okay. That's what I was going for, okay? Now, to get it a little bit darker, I'm gonna grab a little bit more turquoise and mix that in, okay? And then we'll put this on here as well. Left and right, left and right, left and right. And remember, you want to go from the bunny to the edge. Now, I am also painting my sides over here, okay? Let me show you. Let's pull this up just a smidge. Okay, so here you go. I'm painting my edges. I do that all the way on the left side, the right side, and the bottom. So eventually we'll have to flip this guy upside down, right? Go ahead and get some over here as well. There we go. So painting is just a great outlet for some people, not for everybody, but for some people to just really relax and unwind. You know, for some people, maybe it's going out in their wood shop. Maybe other people, it's playing a video game. Maybe other people, it's drawing. You know, somebody else, it might be reading a book. You'll have to drop your comment below and let me know, like, what's your favorite way to really unwind? Okay. And because this color is starting to go up just a little bit, we've got to put some between the ears too. We can't forget that because that's background as well, right? If you don't trust yourself in tighter spaces, you could most definitely use a smaller brush. So now I want to add just a little bit more turquoise. Okay, so we got just a little bit more on there. And then I'm going to start adding in some blue. Now this is a major difference between dark and light. We want to blend that some, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and bring a little bit everywhere first while it's still on my brush to kind of get the majority of that turquoise off my brush. Now watch this. We're going to go from the bunny to the left, from the left to the bunny, bunny to the left, left to the bunny. And what I'm doing is I'm slowly working my way back down into where I have already painted. So you go down and then you go up and then you go down and then you can go up. Okay, so this way it is going to really just gradually give you that ombre effect. Okay, there we go. Yes, awesome. So now we are going to, oh, I can't forget my edge over here. This right side for me, since I can't see it, it's easy to forget it, right? Okay, so we are going to now add just the teensiest bit. So I'm just getting it on the tips of the bristles, and then I might even wipe a little bit off on the plate. And then I'm going to mix that in to the teal that I made earlier. And there we go. Now before it all gets off my brush, I'm going to grab a little bit more from the plate, stick that on there, stick that on there. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to blend down. So that way, oh goodness, this is looking, it kind of has a little bit of a beach vibe, doesn't it? Oh man, this makes me want to go to the beach. Okay. You guys will have to tell me what your favorite beach is. There we go. Now we add just a little bit more blue. Okay. Swipe it across, swipe it across, swipe it across. And I need to grab some more. There we go. And remember, it's okay to really work it. Like, it's okay to use some muscle. Notice where I'm holding my brush. It's all the way down where the metal and the handle touch, and I'm holding it right now with 2 fingers on top so I can really like push down on it. But you want to hold it however it's comfortable for you. So whatever is comfortable for you, probably how you hold a pencil is definitely how you would want to hold your brush. Okay, there we go. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit more blue. And then eventually I'm going to get into some, so see, I'm just putting a little bit more blue on there. So eventually I'm going to get into some purple, because why not? Now you could have totally, I'm sure it's probably too late now, but you could totally make more of these, right? You could do a night sky. You could do a sunsetty sky. You could do a sunrise sky, you know, so you could definitely do lots of different kinds of skies. That's why having a sky in the background sometimes is fun, because it gives you a lot of options. Whoop. Well, that's okay. I still had a little bit too much blue in that brush, didn't I? So that's okay. We just grab us some of that really light turquoise from earlier and just streak that in there and kind of blend it up. There are no mistakes in art, okay? There are only little happy accidents, said somebody famous a long time ago. And we just go with it, you know? If you have oopsies, who cares? Just go with it, turn it into something. That's one thing that art really works on teaching, is problem solving and learning to just kind of go with the flow. And actually that's beautiful, okay? Well, in my opinion, if I say so myself. Okay, so next, I am going to add just a little bit more blue. There we go. Here we go. And grab some more for between the ears. We're starting to get a lot more space between the ears now, aren't we? Okay, and then we'll put some over here. And then remember, don't forget this edge over here. And honestly, if we get a little bit on our bunny, that's okay, because even though the canvas is white, I'm still gonna paint my bunny white, and I am going to purposefully get out of the lines whenever I start painting my bunny, so that it looks fluffy, okay? Now I'm gonna grab a tiny bit of purple and pop that in and start working some purple up here. So purple and blue mixed together makes a beautiful indigo. There we go. So we'll get that worked in there. A little bit more purple right here. Put in just a little bit more of that light turquoise. It almost looks white. And I guess we need to add a little bit more blue back in there. There we go. And right there. Notice that anytime I'm by the bunny ears, I try to kind of outline them first before I get going too much, so that way it kind of helps me create a barrier of where that big brush is going to go. So it's like, oops, stop, there's an ear, right? And then we'll blend that down. And what I'm doing is, as I go to the left, I pull, flick. And then I go to the right, pull, flick. Left, pull, flick. Okay? There we go. And then we'll do just a little bit more purple right up here. So I added a little bit more purple to that combo. Whew! My shoulder is getting tired. Here we go. Ugh, reaching way over there. There, oh my goodness, so pretty. This is so fun, guys. I love it. I'm a little ahead of the game, you know, having an Easter, but it's all right. I will definitely have to put this on my calendar at the studio. Now, just for fun, I'm going to show y'all how you can flick in a little bit of white into your background so it looks like wispy clouds. I'm leaving all of this in my paintbrush. Do you guys see all of this? I'm leaving it all in there, okay? And then I'm going to grab just a little bit of white at a time, and then I'll flick it left, right, left, right, left, right, okay? So we are going to switch back, give y'all a little close-up. And like I said, I'm going to grab just a little bit right there on the tips, tippity tips. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. Okay, so I am going to, as soft as I can, just do a little sweep, sweep, sweep. Okay, now I know you're like, what? Now, the trick is you're going to flick to the right, flick to the left. So we don't want to drag, 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 pick up. If we drag, 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 pick up, what happens is you see where that brush starts and finishes. So flick to the right, flick to the left, flick to the right, flick to the left. And we just kind of keep sweeping that just like so. And it's as soft as you can. Oh, I can really see where that one, it started drying on me before I got to blend it. Gracious. There we go. Okay, so now we really have little kind of wispy clouds going on in our sky. Now, if you want your wispy clouds to be a little bit more whitish, then you could clean out your brush first and then start wispying them in there, okay? But just know, because your background is still a little wet, it will still blend and it'll still get on your brush. So that's something to think about. But there we go. Now, start out soft, but then you might have to use a little muscle. Another trick that you can do is you can barely dip your brush in your water. Barely, barely, barely. Shake that out, because what's happening is my canvas is starting to get a little sticky, okay? Because the acrylics are starting to dry, right? And they get a little sticky as they're drying, which sometimes makes it a little bit tricky to blend. So you get it just a teensy bit damp, and that will help with your blending. There we go. So fun. Okay. Now, of course, I've got to continue this blending on up into my sky elsewhere. There we go. Sweep, 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 sweep. Sweep, sweep, flick left, flick right. And it's okay if we flick onto our bunny some. That is not going to hurt anything at all. As long as it's not, you know, super dark chunks that we're flicking on there. That might be a little tricky to fix. There we go. So cute. All right, so now we have a fun sky going on. So now it's time to start thinking about the grass, right? So for the grass, I was thinking of doing different values of green. So value is the lightness or darkness of a color, right? So to make green, we're gonna mix yellow and blue. Start with the bigger chunk of yellow, add in a little bit of blue at a time. You could also add in turquoise. That works as well to make green. Don't know if you knew that. But so what I have to do first, though, I gotta clean this out. I mean, I guess I don't have to, but purple and yellow are complementary colors, and sometimes purple will make yellow, when you mix them together, look brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it out. To clean our brush, we have to really smush it and swirl it down in there. And you have to remember, it is holding a lot of paint right now because we just did a lot of paint in our background, right? So I'm going to smush it and swirl it. No tappity tap dancing because that will make it go everywhere. Instead, I'm going to swipe it on the inside just like so. Rub, 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 rub. There we go. wipe it on the inside. And then this next step is really important. You are going to want to dry your brush. So I just sweep it left, right, left, right, left, right on the napkin. Okay, there we go. Now, this is kind of a big brush for mixing colors. So I think I'll switch to a pointier brush. And for color mixing, I am going to, like I said, start with yellow. I'm going to move a chunk of that over. Okay, I'm going to grab a little bit of blue at a time. Chocolate chip amount will do just fine. Forgot that brown and black are kind of thin today. Kind of oozing everywhere, aren't they? So there's one layer of green. I'm going to start with that layer. Okay, it's kind of a lime green. And then I will go from there. So I just put that pointy brush in the water cup. I'm back to my big brush, holding it just like I hold a pencil, right where the metal and the handle touch. And we are going to sweep across the horizon line. That's where the sky and the ground meet. We're going to come down and around that little bunny paw. Okay. Now, to fill this in, I am just going to start at the bottom. And sometimes, you know, guys, it is actually kind of tricky to pull your brush upwards, I think. That's just my opinion. So what we could do is flip this guy upside down, because it's much easier to pull your brush downwards like that. Okay, there we go. And these are quick little sweep down, start on the canvas, sweep it down towards your wrist. Okay, so we're flicking that paint down just like that. Don't be thinking too hard about it. This is just layer one. I like to paint in a lot of layers. So now I'm turning my brush so the bristles are vertical, so it kind of gives it that grass effect. Okay, there we go. Whew, being noisy, like I'm banging on that canvas. Okay, there we go. So there is layer one. Notice that I did do the what is the bottom, actual bottom. Right now it's the top of the canvas. We'll do a little bit over here and over here, just like so. I'll go ahead and outline around that paw and that part of the face. And then we'll go ahead and get that all filled in just like so. And I want my grass to be about the same on both sides, kind of the same height, right? Okay, excellent, friends. So now we're going to add just another little pop of blue. I'm going to mix that in, and this is going to make my grass darker, okay? Here we go. Let's sweep off that extra. We don't want too much on our brush. Gotta be careful around that bunny. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. So it's just a quick little flick, 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 flick. This time my bristles are turned vertical, so they're up and down. There we go. Oh yeah, guys, oh yeah. So fun. Okay, now I'm gonna put this brush in the water. I'm gonna get that pointy brush out. So I gotta clean it off. Wipe, 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 wipe. And it doesn't have to be perfectly clean because I'm gonna use it for green anyway, okay? Grab a chunk of blue. Let's mix that on in so I can make it even darker. And this will be my last little bit for the grass. And I'll add just a little bit darker, kind of like that. So it's like it's fading from here, from darker to medium to lighter, okay? So darker at the very, what is really the bottom. It's really the bottom, guys. Okay, then we'll add one more layer. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to be careful around the paw just because this is a darker color, but you know, if we get a little on there, we're not going to stress about it. There we go. Okay, now I think I'm going to go ahead and flip this back the correct way. There we go. So I can kind of get a feel for what's going on. There. There. Putting just a little bit here and there, not much, but just a little bit. Kind of a medium green in there, okay, to kind of hide where the horizon line was a little darker and then the grass looked a little bit like you could see where that horizon, that blue horizon line was through there. So by adding just a little bit, one more layer of paint on there, it sort of hides that, okay? So now we are ready to start thinking about the bunny, okay? Now I'm not actually finished with the background, but I want to pause it because my sky is still wet. So I'm going to pause it for a minute, work on the bunny, and then go back and work on my sky some more, okay? Or my background some more, okay? All right. So we've got to clean out this brush again really, really well. If your water gets too yucky, you definitely want to go get yourself some fresh water, okay? If it's too gross, it'll start affecting your paint colors, okay? Here we go, clean that up. Here, you guys can check in on the puppies while I'm cleaning. Oh, they're really sprawled out now. Raina's on your left, Biggie's on your right. And they are out cold. Raina's kind of hiding behind one of their toys. And Biggie's back there behind that bone. Okay. My brushes are all cleaned out, so we can start on the bunny. So I'm going to grab just some straight white, and I am going to fill in my bunny with straight white. Okay. There we go. And remember how I said it's okay if a little bit gets on our bunny because, you know, our white is kind of hiding our little bit of oopsies. So it's no big deal. All right. And I'm going to show y'all how to make our bunny look kind of fuzzy here in a minute. But for now, we're just got to get a base color on. Now, if your background is still wet and you get a little bit on your brush, you're going to want to wipe that off on your napkin before you keep painting, okay? Otherwise, you're just going to smear background color all over your bunny. And that's not a terrible thing. I kind of think it looks cool when colors get smeared a little, but that stresses out a lot of people, I've learned. So if you're one of them and it stresses you out, just clean your brush off, kind of wipe the canvas, wipe the paint, and then you'll be fine, okay? There we go. So we got a base coat on our bunny. All right, kind of knocking this thing all over the place, aren't I? There we go. All right, now there we go. I think I must have still had some water in my brush. For the bunny's eyes and stuff, I'm gonna have to give this a little bit of time to dry, just a bit, but there we go. That's good to get that base coat. So I'm gonna let the face dry a little bit, and while the face is drying, I'm gonna work on the inside of the ears. This brush is a little too big. If you are a little bit slower at painting, you're gonna wanna put this in your water cup. If you're pretty fast at it, you can set it aside for a moment and work on the ears and then come back to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a tiny bit of red. If you already have pink, you don't have to do this, but tiny bit of red mixed with some white. more white, less red, okay? And I am gonna pop, I'm just following that outside curve, so curve, and then remember this side has a flick and a curve. There we go. And then we'll get that all filled in, just like so. Now, I personally like how it's darker on the edge like that and lighter in the middle. And that's just because I lost some of the pink as I was blending towards the center. Okay, got it scooting close over here. Curve, curve, and fill it in. Sounds like an owl outside. Maybe it is. Now, I want those edges to be a little bit darker, so I grab the teensiest bit of red, grab the teensy bit more, so it's straight red onto my brush that already has pink on it. There. And then I could kind of flick a little bit of that down. Same thing over here. Flick, flick, flick. There we go. Oh my gosh. OMG, folks. So cute. Okay. So now we've been painting a while, okay? And I'm sure your body's a little stiff. My body gets a little stiff. You get locked up in one position. So what you want to do, take some really good deep breaths. You want to stretch and maybe even get your groove on. Maybe you're listening to some music. So now it's time to like pump up the jams, right? And shake it on out. Stand up, stretch, go get a drink, get a little snacky, and then come back and join me so we can finish painting this little cutie pie. I'm so excited. The details are my most favorite part. So get some oxygen to those muscles. And it just sort of helps loosen you back up a little, right? It brings you back to reality and helps helps yourself, don't take yourself so personally. That's what I was trying to say. So, all right. So we're going to zoom on in. Remember how we had paused the background? Let's get back to work on we have white paint in our brush. Those of us that paint kind of quickly still have white paint in our brush. So I'm going to feel, and my blue is pretty dry. So I'm going to teach y'all a cool little trick, okay? What we're going to do is I still have white in my brush from whenever I painted the base of the bunny, but just in case it's too much white, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of sweep it on your napkin like that. Just sweep, sweep, sweep. I know you can't see what I'm doing because it's white paint on a white napkin, but just like I'm saying, sweep, 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 okay? Then you're going to do a little test. Let's zoom in, okay? And I'm going to do a little test right there just to see, okay, well, you can kind of see it, kind of not. So I need just a little bit more on my brush. So I'm going to just sweep, sweep, sweep. You guys kind of see that on there? All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of start at the bunny and I'm flicking out like that. Now, I think my grass is still wet, so I'm a little scared to do down there by my grass, but I'm just flicking out, flick, 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 flick. Little flicks, just a little flick, 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 okay? And you could do around the ears or you could leave the ears smooth. It's up to you. Do you want fuzzy ears or, like a solid line on those ears? So it's up to you. There. Now, it's a little bit see-through right where the fuzz is meeting the face. So I'm just going to kind of dab that right where the fuzz and the face meet. Dab, 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 dab. Okay. There we go. There. And like I said, I just got to add just a little bit. got to make it a little bit more solid, right where the fuzz and the face meet. Now it looks really silly right now because it's not down here, but see, it's still a little bit wet. So we just got to let that dry a little. So we'll work on that in a minute. Okay, let's pause our brush again for a moment. Put it in the water. If you're, you know, if you think it's going to be a minute, you want to put that brush in the water. If we leave acrylics in there for too long, they will ruin our brush. Okay. I think Biggie did a little flipperoo. He's got his paw on Raina's booty. They're so sweet. Okay, so we're gonna work on the background. For my background, I was thinking of doing like some dandelions just kind of in the background. You could do tulips, you could do daisies, you could just do taller grass and leave it simple. You don't have to put any flowers at all. Totally your choice. There's no wrong answer, okay? So just take a deep breath and be brave. You got this. Okay, so we have that darker green from earlier. Remember, I'm going to make it a little bit darker by adding a little bit more blue. Maybe. I guess I could be nice and show y'all. There we go. We don't want too much on our brush, so I'm rolling the extra off. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have one flower kind of right here, and then this is my medium pointy brush, not my tiny baby one, and then I'll put one more kind of right here. If you don't trust yourself with your paintbrush, that's okay. You could do it with pencil first and then pick up the paintbrush. And remember, I said it's really hard to flick your brush up. For me, it is. You have to let me know. Is it harder for you to flick up or down? I'm interested in knowing. There we go. Okay, same thing right here. Kind of push. So I'm kind of smushing my brush, and then as I go up, I'm going to let off some pressure, let off, let off, let off, let off, let off, let off. Okay, so it fades like that. Now, I do want this one to come down just a little bit more. The base of the stem is always wider than the part where the flower connects, so that's one thing to think about. Okay, and then we could do just a little leaf. There we go. Maybe this one. Kind of lean in towards the other one, right? So curve, curve in, flick. There we go. And then let's do one more little leaf coming off our stem. There we go. Okay, now here's a cool trick, guys. I need to make a little bit more green. So I'm going to make just a little bit more, okay? So yellow and blue. Then what you can do is you can grab a teensy bit of red, just a teensy bit, and mix that into your green, and it's going to make it darker. Most people think use black to mix in, but no. And on the underside of the leaf, put a little darker, see? And then same thing on this side. Make it just a little darker on the underside. Then I could pick one side of the stem, and I'm thinking I'll pick the left side. And we'll make it a little bit darker. There we go. Same thing over here. Well, here we go. left side, left side. There we go. So it's not super noticeable, but it's a little subtle. It does give it a little bit more dimension and depth. There we go. If we can have different values in there, right? Now, if I wanted to, I could grab a tiny bit of white and mix that in to that green. So we have a lighter version. And then I could add just a little pop of the lighter version on there as well, which is just going to add to the depth of the painting. Okay? There we go. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, now this brush has to get washed. We gotta scrub a dub-dub. There we go. Wipe, wipe. There we go. Get that nice and clean. Okay, so now, okay, good. This grass is dry enough, so we can go ahead and oop, maybe it's not quite dry enough. I see a little green now on my bunny, but that's okay. Okay, so we'll just cover that up. There we go. Kind of flick that out. There we go. Awesome. Okay, now our bunny looks a little bit like it got its hair did, right? Because now it's like fluffy everywhere, not just on the top half like it was earlier. There we go. Okay. Oh, somebody's snoring down there. I heard him. Probably Biggie. There we go. Okay, so now we can put the big brush in the water. I think we're pretty much finished with the big guy. Now we got to talk about the face, okay? So on the face, like what kind of face do you want your bunny to have? Just have fun with it. And if you feel better about it, you could definitely use one of your smaller brushes that has just the tiny point on it, right? Or use a pencil. Sketch it out with pencil and then go back, okay? So really, no wrong answer. No wrong answer. So let's zoom in for y'all. And I'm going to grab just a teensy bit of black. I know that's a little scary. And I am going to have to turn it towards me just a little, guys, so I can kind of get this about how I want it. So there's an eye. There's an eye. The trickiest part is getting them about the same size, okay? That, for me, is like the hardest part of painting, is getting two things that are supposed to be symmetrical the same size, especially when you paint sideways like I do. There. That's pretty close. Okay, so now we got that, and I am going to put this brush down for a minute, use my little bit bigger brush, my little bit bigger pointy guy, and get this filled in. Slow and steady with that paintbrush. I think her face was still a little wet because my eyes are like a dark gray, but that's okay. Kind of like it. Now, if you are a perfectionist, you could most definitely try to find something oval, although I don't know that I have anything oval shaped, so you could always Make one oval on a piece of paper, cut it out, and then lay it on your canvas, trace it 2 times, one for each eye, right? Okay, I still feel like this right one is a little longer. There we go. How's that? We're still off, aren't we? Maybe it's my camera angle. It's not me, right? It's the camera angle. Squished my brush down a little too hard. Okay, whoop. My easel wants to slide. There we go. Scoochie this back a little. There. Okay. So put a little bit more black paint on there. Like I said, we're kind of working with some dark gray now, which is fine. Okay, so now I don't know if you guys can hear that, but Biggie is totally snoring. Totally. There we go. Okay. And I did get a little out of the lines down there, but we can fix that later. We're not going to stress about getting out of the lines, okay? So now I can clean this brush really good. And I could work on and my eyes are not finished, guys. Remember, I paint in layers. I can work on the nose. I'm going to use that pink from the ears. And we talked about making a heart nose. You don't have to. It's totally up to you. Could just do an upside down triangle nose, and that's okay too. Same thing, if you need a little helpful trick, you can make your heart on paper first and then cut it out and trace it and put it onto the canvas. Okay, there. That takes on a little bit of a heart vibe, right? Cute. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, pull that up. That little back leg on the easel always likes to slide. Okay, so I am going to put this brush in the water. I'm going to grab one of my other small brushes. I'm going to make a little bit darker pink by adding more red. Just a little bit darker right here, okay? So I can kind of flick that in at the bottom of the nose and around the edges. So it helps give our bunny just a little bit of depth. The little bunny nose, it helps it look like it's a little 3D. It's kind of popping up off the face a little, okay? Put that in the water, grab that black brush from earlier that we did the eyes with, and we're gonna come down and up. So it almost looks like a J. We're gonna come down, curve, and up. There we go. Oh, did it again. They're always crooked. It's so tricky painting sideways, guys. Just try it sometime. It's okay. We'll just make it look a little thicker, right? Try to even it out. There we go. Okay, still a little crooked, but that's okay. Now we're gonna do some little flicks for whiskers. Slide and flick, get some more paint, slide and flick, slide and flick. Same thing over here. just like so. And sorry guys, gotta give that camera a little break for a minute. So what we're gonna do is think about this. Is your bunny gonna be a girl or a boy? You could most definitely think about adding on like a little bow tie, a little bow on the top, like maybe kind of in front of an ear. You could even do like an actual, like for real bow and hot glue it on after the canvas dries, right? That would be so fun. We still also have to add the tops to our flowers. We got to put some shines in the eyes to bring it to life a little. We've got to put the little lines on the paws. So we're getting really close to being finished, but we're not quite there yet, okay? But we're close, close, close. So let's double check a couple social media things. We're still live on Facebook and we're still live on Twitch and we are still going on YouTube. Awesome. So thank you for all of you that are watching. I would definitely love to know where you are watching from. It looks like Hendrik said it's a nice reflection like an ocean sky. Yes, thank you so much. Once I started painting in that color, I totally got those vibes. Okay, back over to Restream where I can see all your comments at once. And okay, maybe that gave our camera a little bit of time to cool off. I've got to adjust some settings on there. I've got to, you know, watch a YouTube video and adjust some settings on there. So that way it'll stay on longer. But look, there's the puppies. They're still snoozing. Do you ever wonder, like, what are they thinking about? What do they dream about? Sometimes I just wonder those things. Not for very long, though. I got too much to do. All right, let's flick this back on. There it is. Okay. So we've got our whiskers and we've got our mouth. Now, while I've got the little baby brush, I'll go ahead and add the little paws. There we go. Those are the little lines on the paws, right? Cutie cute. Okay, so now bring that down just a little bit more. So it's just a little curved line. Okay, let's go ahead. Ooh, if it's a girl, look girls, look, we could totally add some lashes. There we go, maybe even. Oh yes, she's fabulous. And then I'll show y'all a cool little trick. What you can do is you can take one of your brushes. I kind of like this big guy just because I gotta get all that water out because I don't want it to roll. Look at the bottom of this brush. See how it's like perfectly round and flat? So what I can do is dip it in my white paint. I don't want too much on there though, so I gotta kind of dab the extra off. There we go. Okay, and I am gonna put a shine in her eyes. So we're going to dot and dot. Ooh, let's get a little bit more paint. Since it's the handle and not the actual brush, it doesn't hold very much paint, right? So then I can use one of the other brushes, like this was that medium pointy one that we were using earlier. Use the bottom of that one. It's quite a bit smaller. And same thing. Dot and dot. There we go. Oh my goodness. See, doesn't that make a huge difference when you add that shine in there? Okay. Now for my flowers, I was kind of thinking of, you know, you could most definitely do dandelion. So let's start with that, and then you guys can decide if you want to tweak it. So I'm going to go straight white with my medium pointy brush. If you have a heavy hand, switch to a smaller brush. So I'm going to dot where the center of my dandelion would be, and I am just going to flick out, flick out, flick out, flick out, flick out, flick out, flick out. Just like this, around and around and around we go. Okay, and we're going to keep doing this. Now, let's say you want to put your own little creative twist on things. Maybe you want to add some color to your dandelion. I say, why not? But leaving them white really does make you think of, you know, making a wish. So your choice. And then, like I said, it's really important you always start at the middle and then work your way out, okay? Now you might have to kind of take a little step back from it and make sure that it's not wonky. It's kind of the same all the way around, right? Okay, so now grab me some more paint, pick about the center-ish, and go from there. Try to flick a straight out from the center. Straight, straight, straight. Okay, so there's one layer. And maybe we want to make those little petals a little longer. There we go. And it's okay if your flowers wind up overlapping. There's nothing wrong with that. Whew. Flickety flick. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. And it kind of matches the fuzziness of the bunny, right? So, but like I was saying, you could add like flicks of pink in there, flicks of purple, red. I don't know if I would go with blue or teal just because that's what's in your background. They might wind up blending. You could do yellow. Oh, yellow would be pretty. So totally up to you. Y'all think about it. What would look good? Okay. I may do yellow on the top one and purple on the bottom one. And the reason being is yellow and purple are complementary colors. So they look great next to each other and really attract attention when they're side by side. Think about sports teams, right? Like the Lakers or the Vikings, okay? So they both have the yellow and the purple because it looks good together. But you don't have to. Pink and purple looks great. Orange would be fun. I didn't even think about that. So have fun with it. Choose what you want, okay? If you don't trust yourself to do smaller brush strokes with this guy, definitely switch to your smaller brush. Now, I don't want the yellow to be so bold, so I'm gonna grab a chunk of white, come over here right by my yellow, mix in a little bit, okay? Here we go. So that way it's not quite so bold. And we'll just kind of flick that in like so. There we go. Start at the middle, flick out, middle, flick out, middle, flick out. There we go. Okay, and I'm kind of cutting through to the sky, so I've got to put a little bit more on there in the center because I don't want to like cut through and see blue in the middle of my flower. There we go. Okay, I've got to clean this brush out. Here we go. wipe it, dry it, and let's do some white and purple mixed together. There we go. So we have a real soft purple, and then we can flick a little bit of that in. Ta-da. There we go. Oh, so nice. Okay, so we've got the purple, and then we've got the yellow. Super great. Now, if I wanted to, you don't have to, but you could grab some straight purple, see, and stick that on there, and then just do little bitty right from the center. Little bitty, boop, 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 boop. Just like so. Brush strokes, just like so. And so then the middle really pops, right? So what I could do on the yellow one is, yes, I could do a bold yellow, or we had talked about orange might be pretty. So I could grab a little bit of red. And one thing to remember is, you know what? If it doesn't look like you thought it would, then that's okay. Just let it dry and paint over it, right? Okay, there's a yellowy orange. And we can do that in the center of this one. And I'm trying to not cut through there. Okay, I think we need a little bit more over there. Oh yes, so great. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm kind of in love with this. So now really the last step, guys, I mean, obviously you can add whatever extra details you want, but I'm gonna get my baby brush again, got it all clean, grab some straight white, and I'm just gonna do a little pop of white here and there. And I know we did some lighter green there earlier, but by putting straight white on there, it brings some balance with the bright white of our bunny and then the bright white of our flowers. And this is just going to create a little bit of balance in our artwork, okay? And then maybe a little shine on the nose, like that, why not? And then we already put the shine in the eyes. So my friends, I think we did a pretty incredible job. I don't know about you guys. You're gonna have to definitely drop me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me, know how yours turned out. Maybe tag me on social media or something like that, because I love it when I get to see the artwork. Okay, so my friends, yes, we did it. We did so good. Make sure that you get all of your brushes cleaned out really good. I like to put some soap in the palm of my hand, rub the brushes in the palm of my hand gently, and then clean them out underneath some warm water, and maybe do that multiple times. You definitely got to take care of your brushes so they last a long time, and then store them vertical, so bristles up, handle down in like maybe a cup. Okay, but yay, we did so good. I think she looks fabulous. You'll definitely have to give her a fun little name, and drop me a comment. What did you think? How did you like my teaching style? I need to see your bunny. I got to see how yours turned out, right? And those of you that are local, I will be posting this on the website later this well, I guess early spring, late winter, so that we can paint this in the studio as well. You guys have a super amazing, amazing day, a great week, a great month, a great year, right? And remember, always be kind. Always be kind. Bye, guys. Okay. Hopefully you didn't leave me. It's okay, Deborah. You'll go back. You can go back through my feed and watch it. And then that way you can pause it and go back and play it, right? So sometimes it's better to watch it on playback, right? So, but thank you for watching with me, guys. I really, really love getting on here. I get on live every single Wednesday, so make sure that you guys join me, and I will post next week's time. I gotta double check my calendar, but I think we'll do the same time next week. I don't think I have any classes going on Wednesday next week. I think they're on Tuesday and Thursday. So I will will paint again. Now, if you want to stay on here with me, I am going to record one more video. I got to get a drink of water, and something in this room makes my nose get a little stopped up. We completely cleaned it, painted it, cleaned the carpets, everything in here, and it just, after a certain amount of time with the door closed, my nose gets stopped up. It's really weird. But I am gonna do a Dollar Tree video. I want to show you guys what I got my niece and nephews for Valentine's. It's just a little something, but it's from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to record a Dollar Tree video. If you want to stay on and watch me, you're welcome to. I would love it. Drop me comments. Tell me what you think. But let me clean out my workspace, and then we'll get started on that. I am going to put these away from the camera, and then I'll be right back on here. And then, of course, I'll clean them after we're done, but we got to put this on a shelf over here so that way I don't accidentally knock them over. And then we will move this. Oh my gosh, she is so cute, guys. I love it. Okay, over here. There we go. And the puppies are still snoozing. You guys might want to look at them for a minute. Okay, get a drink. They're watching me. They're like, what are you going to do? There we go. Okay. All right, so I guess we should move the paint too, huh? All right. Move my water. Gotta have a sealed water lid whenever you're working around all this camera gear. Raina is like, what are you doing, Mama? Okay. There we go. And, oh, there's the bags. Okay. It's just a little Dollar Tree haul. It's not a lot. And I did get a couple of things for the studio too that I want to show y'all as well. So let me grab that bag. Okay. Okay.